Hi everyone. Hello, hello, hello. What an exciting moment. Hello everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am launching a new book. How exciting is that? This is it. First time author. The guide to successfully write your first inspirational best-selling book. What a moment this is. It's very, very cool to be launching my first book in 5 years. My last book, of course, was this one, Write, Publish, Launch, which I launched in June of 2020. And then, a farm, a baby, these sort of things. And finally back with a brand new book. So if you're jumping on the lives, please say hello. Hey, Sarah. Oh, thank you so much. Sarah Rutten, one of our book writers. I say celebrity dog trainer, Sarah Rutten, with her 11 category best-selling book, The Canine Perspective. First time author is live right now. I'm going to put all of the links and things like that in the comments. Special launch price on the Kindle for the next couple of days, 99 cents. And also you can get a paperback from me signed. Carmel, welcome. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. First time author is here. I know, it's like a baby, right? It's like it's not, it's just an idea for a long, long time, and then boom, here it is. You can buy it and touch it, and it's a real thing. So I'm very, very excited. Thank you for being here. Davina, welcome to you. This Facebook Live is all about launching first time author. I'm going to run you through and say a few thank yous to the people that have really supported me to get this book out, because the reality is that getting a book out requires quite a lot of support. It's a very difficult thing to do by yourself. I would know. I've done it several times by myself, but I happen to feel very, very supported today, which is superb. And I'll go through some thank yous in a moment. And then I'll give you the backstory to where this book came from. And the reason I want to share that with you is so that you can see both the mindset and the thinking and the psychological journey and emotional journey that I had to go on to even get this book into print. So we're going to go through that. And then I'm going to share some of the juicy bits from the inside of this book. My whole intention with First Time Author is for this to be a rocket ship, for this to be the spark that takes someone who's like, I've just got an idea for a book, but I've got a lot of doubts, or there's a lot that's unknown. The idea of this book is to remove those doubts, remove those fears, answer your questions so that you can actually become a first-time author. Because the reality is Sarah's already got a copy. Love that. Thank you so much. That is epic. Big fist pump to you. Please let me know when you've got your copy. I will send you a massive fist pump. If you would prefer something other than a fist pump, like a big wrangling Farmer Dave hug, I will also send you one of those. You get to pick. Where was I? Yes. So my intention with this is that it's the rocket ship to get those people moving forward into a place where you can actually go, you know what? I think I might be able to do this. Because I know for a fact that at this time in world history, we have a lot of problems out in the world. A lot of the world is on fire, and there's a lot of old systems breaking down. And this chaotic point in human history is an opportunity for people like you and me who have a level of consciousness, who have a level of skill and ability, talents, maybe an inspirational story where you've lived your life a different way. You were the black sheep of the family and you've walked a different path. This is your opportunity to not to contribute what you've got to the world, but to do so many things, to use your book as a stand for your message, for your leadership, to build a tribe, to even build a business around it, to build community, and generally speaking on all of that, to be a force for good. There's enough darkness out there that we need good people with good messages, or great people with great messages, to get them out to the world and be like, Let's go. Let's build something. Let's be productive. Let's be creative. Let's increase our level of love, our level of care, our level of healing. Let's do better as a humanity, as a society. Sarah Rutten, yes, Speedy Rutten. If you know anything about inspirational book writers and the community, you'll know that it is next to impossible to get a book faster than Sarah Rutten. She is very well renowned over the last 12 months for getting the first copy of a book really, really fast. So thank you, Sarah. I'll take this point to segue into some thank yous. First of all, the biggest thank you is to my co-pilot, my second in charge at Inspirational Book Writers, one of my absolute best friends, and although not born from the same mother, definitely a soul sister, older sister, not too much older. Why did I even say that? Sorry, Davina. Davina Davidson. She is just a shining light in my life as a friend and as a business, someone that does business with me. She has supported me. Just the support is out of this world. It is absolutely insane. This book would not be here without her. It just wouldn't be. The number of times that she was like, do it. You know, even the production of this book, we got it printed in proof copies in 7 weeks. From the minute I submitted to the minute I had copies in my hands, that was 7 weeks, which is actually like, that's what we were doing back in 2015. We would write your book in a week, publish it 6 weeks later. I mean, we weren't doing copies in your hand 6 weeks later. Of course, you had to print them. So this is a blast from the past. Davina heads up our publishing department. She made it happen with our team. She held my feet to the fire, and I'll speak about that because there's so many times when you do a book in the writing phase, in the publishing, in the launching phase, and I've just literally experienced this over the last 8 weeks. There's so many, and even in the 2 years before that, and I'll tell you the backstory to this book in a moment, there's been so many times where I could have bailed out, I could have jumped ship, I could have used an excuse about something that's going on in my life to be like, oh, well, I've got this thing going on in my life, and so I can't do the book, or it's not the right time. And every single time, Davina was like, shut your face and do it, Dave. And she didn't say those exact words, but yeah, Carmel says, Davina is amazing at holding one's feet to the fire. Absolutely. She didn't say those exact words. It was a lot more loving than that, but that was essentially the message. And at every time it was like, yes, I can do this. Yes. And because when you're writing a book, when you're publishing it, when you're launching it, and Sarah knows this, and Carmel, you know, you've already experienced this in the writing of your book and in the publishing stages you've taken. You need that little booty tap. You need that support. You need that someone else that you've committed to say, yeah, I'm going to do this. And it pulls you forward to have that accountability, to have made that commitment to someone else. Because if there's one thing that I've discovered in book writing is that there's a lot of people that just talk. They just talk about doing a book, and the action is either this much or nothing. And so it just becomes hot air. And that's not just my experience. That's also the statistics. A Forbes magazine study showed a couple of years ago, showed that 81% of the population want to write a book, and every year only 0.1% succeed. So what that tells us is that writing a book is something everyone wants to do, almost 4 out of 5, and yet hardly anyone actually succeeds at. And so it's people like Davina in our publishing program, in our book writing program, that just bring this level of, and this is what I try and bring into our community, into this culture of normalcy, of like, it's normal for us to write books. It's normal for us to do things that are scary. It's normal for us to step into the unknown. And when we show up on our group calls and someone's like, oh, I'm freaking out. It's like, yeah, I'm freaking out too. This is a scary thing. And So Davina, thank you so much for your support in this. This wouldn't be here without you. Carmel says, loving the Oracle way. That's what we call Davina. We call her the Oracle. Davina, thank you so much for your support. It's been absolutely tremendous. And of course, I'd also like to give a massive thank you to my team, particularly Maine, our publishing assistant and executive assistant, but also our entire team that helped put this together, from Rachel, Kerry, Sandy, Anita, Sarah, Rama, Shrini, and the rest of the team. Thank you so much for your support. You're not getting a book done and in someone's hands in 7 weeks unless you've got a really slick team. So thank you. Yeah, Sarah says hooray to the team. Big thank you to all of my team. Love you guys so much. And the last thank you is we do have the best team. Yeah, it's pretty rad. Hey, Davina. My last thank you is to all of our clients, all of our authors. Sarah and Carmel are on this call right now. Davina's even, although she's a part of the team, she's also been a client through IBW. She's had the experience. Without people in the marketplace saying, hey, I want your help to get my book out, I wouldn't have a business. There wouldn't be a business here. There wouldn't be a community here. There wouldn't be the impact here of people helping people. And so to every single person that's ever worked with us, thank you for trusting me. Thank you for trusting our business with your time and effort and money, and allowing us to do our work that we're here to do, so that you can, we can support you on your journey. That means the absolute world to me. And I have a lot of serious gratitude for that. Particularly, it sort of reminds me of 15 years ago when my life was heading down the path of being a lawyer. And I really did not want to live my entire working life in a legal office. And it was reaching out, getting into coaching, getting into book writing that allowed me to have the life that I have now. And I'm so grateful to every single one of our clients and anyone that's ever come across us, whether you've just bought a 99-cent book. Ness Jones is here. Amazing. Hello to you. Thank you for being here, Ness. Whether you've bought our 99-cent Kindle book, whether you've invested your time and money to publish your book with us, or whether it's just you're stopping by on this live and this is the first time we've met. Thank you for every single interaction, even the likes, the loves, the comments. They mean the world to me, because without that, I wouldn't be able to do my thing. So I just really appreciate you all. Carmel's got her copy. Boom! Fist pump to you, Carmel. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Cool. So those are the thank yous. First time author. Okay, let's talk the backstory to this book, because I think one of the things that a first time author would really like to know is, how did the book come to be? What was the origin of it? How long had you been thinking about it? How did it get put together? So I'm going to quickly go through that journey, and I hope it's useful to you to share the stages of development. So in June of 2023, we actually needed to onboard a new book writing coach for one of our book writing intensives. And so we did a download. Thanks, Davina, for putting the link in the chat. If you want to get your Kindle copy for 99 cents, Australia, Canada, US, all the links are there. Or if you want to get a paperback signed by me with free shipping, the link is down the bottom there too. So go grab one of those. 2023, we're onboarding a new book writing coach. I get the team together. I'm like, we've got to download all of the secrets essentially for how to coach a book writing intensive. We need to download this to this new coach. And what that turned into was a team meeting where we basically downloaded the secrets of all the coaching cues, the coaching prompts, and the answers to the most frequently asked questions. And that was about a 75-minute session. We got to the end, it was recorded. We got to the end of that session, and then I was like, damn, That would be a great book. And I sort of parked it for a little bit. And then about a week later, I was like, this has to be a book. This is June of 2023. And so what I did then, at each of the next book writing intensives, so we help people write their book in a week. Welcome, Lisa. Lisa Shine's here. Lisa Hawkey's here. Lisa and Lisa, welcome to both you ladies. Great to have you with us. What that developed into was it flipped me into investigation mode. And what I mean by that is so that was June 2023, and then October of 2023, February of 2024, those two next events, I started listening very intently to our clients and to the people who were considering working with us, what their main questions were, what their main questions and sticking points were, and I started making a list. This book is directly shaped by clients, by prospective clients, okay? I didn't make any of this up. I just responded. And if you know human design, I'm a manifesting generator. I'm designed to respond. So I didn't go into that June 2023 meeting with the team thinking, oh, we're going to do a book out of this. It popped out. I responded to what happened. And so over the next couple of months, this book, I started taking the notes. One thing that I actually did is I took the transcript of that June 2023 meeting, I put it into AI and I said, give me a list of the key questions that have been answered through this transcript and give me 3 dot points for each of those questions. So what that gave me was some source material. It gave me a bit of structure, and I started to add to that based on what clients were saying to me. Then we got to, so I had notes essentially. Then in June of 2024 at the book writing event, so we were literally facilitating the book writing week for 30 odd clients, and some of you on this call here, on this live, were actually attending that. We got to Lisa's just ordered her signed paperback. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm going to be at the post office later today. How fun is that? Dave Thompson never goes to the post office except when sending signed copies. So at the tail end of that June book writing week, there was something in me that just twigged that was like, normally I have no space in those book writing weeks. Like it's full on, but for some reason at that particular event, we had a stack of people already finished, and towards the end of the week, I think it was like day 5.5 out of 7 or something, there was something in my brain that I got this nudge and it was like, go for it, get a draft done. And in 7 hours, I produced 12,000 words that formed the first draft. So if we look at it, it was idea, June of 2023. That created some dot points from that video transcript. I continued to collect information from clients at October of 2023, February of 2024. June of 2024, I get the nudge, go, create the draft. Boom, I did it. And then actually not a lot happened with it until February of 2025. And it was like, get this ready to go into the publishing process by the end of this week. And I did it. And then sure enough, 7 weeks later, we've got the proof copies in the hand. So there was a bit of a lead up to it, but certainly that was the journey. And yeah, why do I want to say that? I'm sharing that journey with you to share with you that books are often an idea that you've had for a long time, but there will become times where you get this lightning bolt of go, of action, of now is the time. Take the step, initiate it, move it to the next stage. This is the step. And when you get those, I'm getting tingles as I say this, when you get that lightning bolt, please take it. Please take the action, because that is the spirit of the book, giving you the impulse. Now's the time to move on it. Now, yes, written first draft, 7 hours, published in 7 weeks, but you can see like there was a lot longer time over the course of the whole journey. Thanks, Fiona. Welcome, Fiona Lukey's. Great to have you on the call too. Really appreciate you being here. Take those nudges as a sign that it's time to move, because what then happens is you build momentum and you keep the spirit of the book alive. Okay, that's a really important thing. The over 80% of people that don't write books every year that want to, why are they not getting their book out? They're getting it out because the momentum has died and it's too heavy to pick back up, or they lose the thread of it. Or, like, as Elizabeth Gilbert says in the book Big Magic, the idea as an ethereal concept literally and actually moves to someone else. And then they write the book on the thing you wanted to talk about, and then 12 months later, you are cursing with frustration that someone took your idea. It's like, no, the idea came to you, you just didn't act on it when you know you had the nudge to do so. So this is my big message to any first-time author, is if you're getting the nudge, hey, go. And it doesn't mean you have to do the whole thing right away, but take the action that's presented in front of you. What's one thing you can do to move it forward? And this is the whole principle of how we operate as inspirational book writers. And it's one of the key principles for a first-time author to be successful is take the action when it's given to you, even if you're uncertain about all the other pieces. So I hope that makes sense. Thank you to everyone that's getting their copies. I'm seeing heaps of notifications come up on the phone for the signed copies. Remember to get your ebook if you would like it for 99 cents from the Kindle store. And what else do I want to tell you about the journey of getting it published? I think that's about it. The main message is keep the momentum going. So let's talk about some other things, hey? So one of the things that is very cool that we've done differently for this book is we've actually got a companion guide for first-time author. A companion guide is essentially what it says it is. It is a PDF that gives you bonus links, bonus articles, unseen content that didn't make it into this book. And the companion guide is designed to be sort of read with you when you get this book, or when you're listening to the audio. And the audio will be out very, very, very soon. So I'm just trying to get the link for you. I thought I had the link ready to go for the companion guide, but it's certainly in the book. You'll find it when you get it. I'll see if I can get it now for you. But this is one innovation that I'm very excited for people to check out, is the companion guide, especially because you know how people are doing that whole triple screening business now. Like someone is like maybe reading the paperback book, they've got the ebook on their phone, and maybe they're watching TV, or they've got a tablet open as well. So the companion guide is another way. I've actually got the link to that in the chat there. It's also in the book, so go check out the companion guide. You also get a free special video of the bookmap workshop in there. That's our process that kickstarts books, so definitely go get that. It's free. If you get the book, you get the companion guide for free. So that's something super cool that we've done as well. Let's talk about a few other things regarding first-time authors, hey? So one of the other biggest things that I want to speak about that stops first-time authors from moving forward is the excessive and inappropriate use of the inner critic, okay? The inner critic. Now, if you're a creative, if you're an artist, if you've come from a background of perfectionism, I mean, hell, even if you went to a Western school where you got marked A, B, C, D, there typically is an element of inner critic. And here's what I want to share with you about where the inner critic becomes really valuable as a first-time author. Fiona's just got her copy. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So cool. Thank you, Fiona. The inner critic, if you're using the inner critic at the very start of your journey to like you're writing a sentence or you're writing a paragraph, and then the inner critic is judging what you've produced and you've only produced a paragraph or a page, that's not the time. It's not the time. Pull the inner critic out, send them down the road, and use the inner critic at the final stages, okay? The final stages of editing, of getting it ready to go to market. The inner critic, if used at the beginning, will dramatically slow down your progress to the point where it might even choke out your flow. And you're like, I can't do this. Okay, I just can't do this. So that's one of the big things that you'll read about in First Time Author is how to use the inner critic. The other thing that I want to speak about is that one of the most common things that first-time authors face is this feeling of like, who's going to want to read my book? And I think the first thing I want to say is that this is a very, very normal, very human experience, a very human thing to say. If you weren't saying something like that, perhaps you're one of those people that's already merged with the robots, perhaps. So just first of all, no, it's very human, and where it comes from is, well, here's how to address it. Instead of focusing on what they are going to say about you, focus on what the book can do for them. So it's switching the focus from your own significance and certainty to what you can contribute, okay? And I hope you can feel that in me. I have done my absolute best to make this entire launch, everything about this launch, about the first-time author, about the person that's thinking about taking on their first book and bringing that out to the world. Because quite frankly, if I make this about me and I can sort of, even just the thought of making this about me brings up little bits of anxiety, brings up bits of fear. It's just not a path I want to go down because this live would start to tank. And people, you guys are all here, you'd be supportive, you'd be like, go Dave, you can do this. But this is actually not about me. This is about what I can give, how I can impact those people. And my biggest intention with this is that in 12 months from now, someone turns around and says, and they're in our book writing program and they're publishing with us and the book goes out to the world and it impacts a stack of people, and that I can turn around and they can say to me, yeah, I read First Time Author, and then that's when I got started. I'm like, that's what it's all about. This is very much positioned, if we talk business for a second, this is very much positioned at the top of the funnel for people that haven't met us at all, who are considering taking the first step with us. Like, this is for people who haven't even done the book map session. All they've got is an idea. So I'm very clear about where this is positioned and who this is for. Of course, there's lots of our authors on this live already who are in the middle of the process. You guys will get great stuff from this too. But to be fair, if you've been around with us for a little while in our programs, you'll be like, oh, I've heard Dave say that 7 times, or I've heard Davina say that 4 times. So really, this is designed to take obstacles, to take mindset blocks, to take energetic blocks out of the way, so that you can become a first-time author with grace, with ease, and have a really successful first-time book. So that's the intention behind this. And look, it's only small, like it's not a big one. It's 111 pages, deliberately small. Each book has its own unique sort of spirit and energy, and this one, I was like, it was actually going to be shorter. The first draft of this was like, it's going to be like 58 pages. And then it went through the publishing process, and Rachel did the read review on it, and she's like, you really probably should speak about these other 8 things, because I've heard you speak about them at book writing intensives and they're not in the book. And so even at that stage, I was still adding things. And so that's another thing I want you to know as a first-time author, is that getting a book done is an iterative process. I definitely did not have perfection in this at the first run through. In fact, I'm not even sure it's perfect now. And I'm very open to the feedback of what the audience thinks. And there's a very good chance that one of our clients is going to get this and point out and go, Dave, you say that all the time at book writing intensives, it's not in the book. So I'll definitely do revised editions. Kayla Potent's here. Thank you so much. So excited about this. Appreciate you, Kayla. Thank you for being here. Oh, this is really, really fun. I feel very honored to have all of our book writers on this call. This is a very, very, very special moment. Um, the other thing I want to talk about is the mindset with this. So a couple of days ago, in terms of the launch, and we'll talk a little bit about business, about how I'm thinking about this book. So leading into the launch, I was starting to feel a little bit of anxiety, a bit of nervousness, and I checked in with myself and I'm like, why is this happening? And my perception was that there was a lot to do. There was too much to do to launch this book, especially for the time in my life that I'm launching it. Like, there's a lot going on in my life, and I thought, okay, let's look at this. And what I brought it down to, so a couple of things that really helped me to shift out of that anxiety of like, oh, it's too big, is number one, I simplified to the simplest level. What is a book launch? A book launch is the book is up on Amazon or available on the website, and a link is posted publicly for people to buy. That is the simplest level. So if it all became too much, I just wouldn't do the live and I just post the link. The book has still launched. Okay. Now, of course, I was always going to do the live. I was always going to face my fears and show up and be the public face of the book. But simplifying it down to that basic level really, really helped me. Now, the second thing, Carmel, the simplicity. It's a bit like, have you ever, I've known people in my time, this doesn't happen to me, but I've known people in my time that really stress over like traveling overseas, and they just stress themselves out about packing and getting to the airport and things like this. And I just break it down to, well, if you attend the airport and you have clothes on, preferably shoes as well, you've booked a ticket, you've got your passport, and probably a good idea to have your phone and wallet. If you've got those things, you can get on the plane and get where you need to go. Everything else can be figured out as you go. And so this iterative process of build it as you go is something that has definitely helped me to realize, okay, I don't need to stress out about having everything ready in the moment. The second thing that I want to share is I didn't put a lot of pressure on this launch being the be all and end all, okay? I feel like I've done a very good job internally of detaching from the outcome of the next few days of the book launch. And I'll speak more about the actual strategies that we're using to launch this book. The way I'm viewing this is the ticket to ride. This is the ticket to ride in the fun park. And so I'm seeing this book as a resource, as a foundation for the book writer's business for at least the next 5 years. Now, to be absolutely honest with you, that's what this book has been. Write, Publish, Launch. June of 2020. It continues to sell every single month. Most weeks, it'll sell copies. We sell this on Amazon. We sell it in ebook, paperback, audiobook. We sell it through our own website. We sell it through a book funnel. We run ads to it. This book, we're coming up to 5 years of value from this asset. And so this is how I'm viewing First Time Author. I'm viewing it as an asset to the business. This gives me the ticket to introduce people to our business. This gives me the ticket to get on podcasts and speak about the book. This gives me a ticket to run more ads to a book funnel where we're selling the paperback and the audiobook and some training to become a self-liquidating offer. Essentially what that means for those that are watching is we pay for the ads, but the sale of the stuff pays for the ads, and then any clients that we get pay for themselves. So that's the thinking behind this. It's a ticket to ride, and what that's done for me is that's taken the pressure off needing to drive this unnecessary, like drive this really tight. Kayla's got her copy. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That's so awesome. Thank you so much, guys, for getting these copies. And the phone is just going ping, ping, ping. Yeah, just really appreciate all of you for getting this. So that was my mindset. Now, a couple of other things that I want to talk about in terms of the business side of this. And seeing as we have so many authors on this call, I want to share with you some of the strategies that we're using to launch this book. So number one is the ebook is going out through Amazon right now, and the intention of that is to get it to Amazon bestseller. However, the paperback is going out through my own website. Now, the intent, obviously, when you sell through your own website, you collect the customer email address, you collect the customer information, which you can then remarket to them. When you sell through Amazon, you don't get the customer information, unfortunately, but you do of course get the Amazon bestseller, which can then go on the front cover and be used in promotions and things like this. So that's one thing that we're doing a bit differently. Another thing we're doing a bit differently, I'm experimenting with this. Normally, we would say to people to keep the launch window open for 2 days, 48 hours or so. We're actually keeping this open for 8 days. 8 days. Now, part of the reason for that is I was initially thinking, okay, I'm going to keep it, it's Monday, I'm going to keep it open till Thursday, just before Easter, or I'm going to keep it open till the end of the week, like Friday, and then I realized it was Easter. Last Easter was sensational for selling books. We sold an absolute buttload of Write, Publish, Launch books, both paperback and ebooks, both through our funnel and on Amazon over Easter. Same thing happens at Christmas, okay? Why? Because people are sitting around on holidays, scrolling, having time out. They have an opportunity to breathe and think about their dreams. Writing a book is a dream for a lot of people. It's a business goal. It's a personal goal. So it makes sense that we have it in front of them when they're looking for it. So 8 days, it's available through to Tuesday morning, the 22nd of April. 8 days. That's something we're doing that's really interesting and different. What else? Later today, we're going to be releasing a competition for the best review of this book, and the best review will win a book map session with me worth $995. So that is super, super cool. We're also doing, if you buy the book and you screenshot your receipt to me, and you want to join us for the June book writing intensive, we have a coupon code for you. So we're going to give you $250 off. So that's super exciting as well. So we're doing a bit of a promo on that front. And as well, this was what came up in the pre-launch strategy thinking session that I actually chatted with Davina about. One of the key focuses for me in this launch, or for the business, is to actually focus on LinkedIn. So I know this live is on Facebook, but LinkedIn has been, Facebook, I don't know, I just like the platform. I feel like I get it, right? LinkedIn is somewhere that I haven't really engaged with on a deep level, but in the pre-launch for this book, LinkedIn was like, there was a bit of energy there. And so I'm going to be putting out a lot of stuff through LinkedIn. So these are all the sort of nuances of this particular launch. And if you're already in our book writing program, what you'll notice is that the execution of these strategies that we teach you, they're slightly nuanced. And I think that's a good thing, because you want to tailor it to what's really going to work for you. So, all right, what else do I want to talk about? Who else is here? Yeah, Davina's just said there's a coupon for the June online book writing intensive. If you buy your copy, just screenshot your receipt, send it to me on Messenger, or email it to writeabook@inspirationalbookwriters.com, and we will send you the code to get that special rate. Okay. I think I'll finish with some closing thoughts here. Yes, okay, so I'll do that. So a couple of weeks ago, inside our publishing group, Carmel O'Connor actually asked me on one of our calls, she said, Dave, what's been the initiation for me in writing this book? Because I'm always saying there's an initiation in writing, in publishing, in launching. And because this book is designed at the top of funnel, it's designed for people that have never met us. It's designed for people who are meeting us for the first time. There is an opening to the greater marketplace. And that has brought a lot of growth for me as a man, as a leader, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, because how we've sort of run our business is we've existed in a bit of a bubble whereby people have referred their friends because we do such great work, and it's had this real community feel, and we're absolutely keeping that, and we're doubling down on culture and on the personal connection. But what this book represents is me opening to a bigger voice, opening to, hey, where else are there people in the world that need this, that really need to get their book out, that have solutions, that have an up-leveled view of consciousness, or of solving people's problems, or of healing people, or of inspiring new perspectives? Where are those people? So this is one of those markers. For me, it's a very symbolic marker of, okay, let's go out and find those people in a more active way, rather than I guess a bit more of a passive way. Carmel's saying she's hearing expansion. Absolutely. Absolutely. This is an expansion point. And I'll also share with you, so the other growth for me in writing this book is I haven't held anything back in this. This is full Dave Thompson. This is the shaman. This is the mystic. This is the multi-dimensional way that I look at people, that I see the world, that I look at consciousness, that I feel into energy, that I think about transformation, all the way down to why are we launching on the 14th of April at 1 p.m. Brisbane time? Well, follow the astrology. If you follow the astrology, the 14th of April is basically the first day of all planets. Well, we had 5 days earlier in February, but we now in the sky have 5 planets direct. What does that mean? For 21 days. It's the only time for the rest of the year that we have all planets direct. What does that mean? That means initiate. That means move forward. That means go. That means set the seed in the ground for what you want to fruit later. All planets direct. Yeah, it's not a rocket ship. Saturn's there slowing things down, making sure things are serious and timely, but everything is moving forward. And so it had to be now. And like I said, this idea for this book was initiated in June of 2023. So that's my invitation to all the book writers is initiate. Get your project moving now, because whenever it fruits, and whether it's a fast one that fruits fast, like it fruits in July or August, or whether it's something that fruits at the end of the year or next year, whenever it fruits, that's okay. But the message right now is get it in the ground, move. So very much plugging into, I'm a big believer in what Paulo Coelho talks about in the book, The Alchemist. He talks about listening to the soul of the world and tuning into that, looking for the signs, looking for what nature is saying to you, looking for what the animals are saying to you. And I know that's very woo, and that is, for perhaps bro marketers or straighty 180 entrepreneurs, that is it's possibly a bit weird for me to be saying that, but that is how we operate at Inspirational Book Writers. We have the depth emotionally, psychologically, energetically, on the mindset level, and also the strategy, the structure, the marketing brains to get books out there. So for people that are agents of transformation, who do have a left or right or up or down of center message that's a bit revolutionary or a lot revolutionary, or it's if you've got a message that's ahead of your time, if you're the black sheep in your community then you're going to find yourself in really, really good company with our book writers, because every single one of us is weird in our own way. We're all freaky, weird people. And we're going to say, welcome to the club, and tell us about your version of freak and weird, because it's those unique solutions that are going to rebuild the world. And although a lot is on fire, like I said at the start of this, I really truly believe there's a lot of opportunity out there right now for entrepreneurially minded, go-getting, ambitious people with creative ideas to really build something and that's very sovereign for them, that provides them with the absolute life that almost that insulates them essentially from the crazy in the outside world, while also impacting people in the most positive way, providing healing to the world, providing solutions, providing connection, love, caring, all these types of things. That's what we stand for. The entire reason this business was built was to help change the world with our words. And so that's what I'm aiming to do with this. I know all of the book writers on this call who have said they're buying books and part of our community. I know that's what you're trying to do too. And I salute you and I honor you. And this is another thing, onwards and upwards. Let's keep getting the message out there and helping more people. Because what's the saying? If you help enough people get what they want, sooner or later you'll get what you want. And I think this is the nature of a great life, is you give and you receive, you make an impact, you create win situations, and they're the absolute best. And I think books are definitely a win. You win because it's so satisfying. You get the credibility, you get the authority, you get the up level, you get the leadership, you get the tribe, you get the community, you get something you can give, and you give and give and give, and it impacts, and then you get it back. So this is my gift to you guys. Please grab it, please share it, tell all your friends. It's going to be available through to, like I said, Tuesday, 22 April. I think that's all. Thank you so much to every single person for being here. Thank you, Davina, for putting those comments in the chat. Thank you, Carmel. Thank you, Kayla. Thank you, Sarah Rutten, Fiona Lukes, Lisa Shine, Lisa Hawkey, Ness Jones, everyone that's been here on this live. Much love to you all. First time author, launching today. Thank you so much, and I will see you really soon.